I spoke to Dr. Shaheen Shariff, a professor at McGill University and director of Define the Line, a research project about cyberbullying. I asked her to explain the details of the proposed law and what it means for young people in Canada.
They have updated the Criminal Code of Canada, which was necessary. They needed it to update it to be relevant to the internet and smartphones, etc. However, they called it the Protecting Canadians from Online Crime Act. Concerns are that it may not be protecting Canadians from, it may be infringing on their privacy. There's a lot of, they've kind of sneaked in a number of provisions that give police broad powers of surveillance. And we're also very concerned that where teenagers are involved, the fact that they introduced this bill on the basis that there's an increase in teen suicides relating to cyberbullying, that is absolutely a concern. But academics here who work in this area are also worried that if the wrong teenagers are charged, because smartphones can be stolen or hacked into, computers can be, there can be mistaken identity. There's a 5-year prison term that goes with this.
And how prevalent is this phenomenon of cyberbullying in Canada?
It's very prevalent in the schools. Of course, most people only hear about it in the extreme cases. You've heard about Amanda Todd and Rehtaeh Parsons and their suicides, but it's on an ongoing basis in the schools. It's fairly prevalent. Our research finds that the kids, digital natives who are growing up immersed in digital media, don't really realize the difference between joking and teasing and where it crosses over the threshold to become criminal harassment or defamation, or, spreading of rumors, or where it becomes abusive. A lot of the teenagers are just sort of testing the sexual boundaries. The norms. There's a higher threshold, and the norms have changed of online communication.
Right. And how does this proposed law in Canada compare with, say, legislation that currently exists in other parts of the world, the United States, for example?
Well, my understanding is that in many of the United States and the U.S. are also applying child pornography laws, and I think and other legislation that is fairly reactive. We need more prevention and education. We need to help children become legally literate, help them understand, that there is a difference with this kind of horsing around, and actually that they could be legally liable. And in fact, they are hurting other people. There's a definite lack of empathy among this generation of young people. But, who's modeling this kind of behavior? It's really adults, and we need to look at how adults in society are communicating and modeling behavior and expression online. And it's really all about a fine balance between free expression, protection, privacy, and safety, and regulation. And we have to make sure that we don't over-regulate and overreact to kids.
Shaheen Shariff, thanks for joining us.